Can you tell any of you how this extra-embryonic colestomal extra-embryonic cavity is developed? Raise your hand. Yes, yes,
So maybe somatic cell.
how the extra-embryonic silo or cavity?
So somatic cell. Develop from somatic cell.
No. Or question? There are two mesoderm developed. One is the primary mesoderm and this is the secondary mesoderm. So primary mesoderm develops. How the primary mesoderm develops?
From trophoblast.
Secretion
of trophoblast.
Yes, trophoblast. You are correct. So what is the fate of this primary mesoderm? Again the same features occur like this lateral great mesoderm. The several vacuoles appears in the primary mesoderm which develop from the secretion of the trophoblast, and all vacuoles they coalesce, meet together and form a single cavity that is called the extra-embryonic. Because extra-embryonic, why? Because it is outside the embryo inner cell mass. So it is extra-embryonic. Now this cavity is intra-embryonic. Intra-embryonic cavity. One cavity that develops before that is the extra-embryonic line. So it is very clear that the all cavity develops in two halves. One half from one side and other half from other side. So develops from two halves by the two paracels mesoderm. Is it clear? Now we will see one by one. So then this second layer, that is the middle one, that is the intermediate mesoderm. It will give rise to the urogenital systems. Urogenital system means it has two systems. One is the urinary systems, and the genital systems. So these two systems, urinary system and genital system, are collectively known as urogenital systems. So this urogenital system develops from the intermediate mesoderm. Then the lateral plate mesoderm, it becomes differentiated into two layers. How? Actually, what happens for that you make another diagram. Suppose I making only the lateral plate mesoderm. Actually, what happens in the lateral plate mesoderm, several vacuoles appears. All these are the vacuoles. So all these vacuoles, they coalesce and give rise to a single cavity. Now, in the last class that by the proliferation of primitive extract that develops from the ectodermal layer in the caudal part of the embryo. The embryo has two parts, the cranial part and the caudal part. So in the cranial, that I am showing the last part, that I am just repeating it, see how this secondary mesoderm develops. So by the differentiation of the cell of the primitive string give rise to the secondary mesoderm. Actually what happens, the differentiation of the cell of the primitive string is not uniform. Some fibers are developing more rapidly and some are the slow. So due to that differential growth, differential proliferation of the primitive string, the mesoderm becomes differentiated into three zones. That you can see here. This is the innermost zone, this is the intermediate zone, and this is the lateral zone. So the secondary mesoderm becomes differentiated into the three zones due to the differential growth which are developing from the primitive string. Now the most medial, this is the midline of the embryo. This dotted structures show the midline of the embryo. So on either side of the midline, the layer of the mesoderm is called lateral plane mesoderm. So this is lateral plane mesoderm. Is it? Now the second zone that lies lateral to the lateral plane mesoderm, it is called intermediate mesoderm. Is it? And the most lateral, this is the most lateral, it is called lateral plane mesoderm. Now, so there are one mesoderm becomes differentiated into three zones, the lateral plane mesoderm, then the intermediate and the most medial, that is the paraxials. Para-axial, very easy to remember because on either side of the axis, this dotted structure shows the axis of the embryo, so paraxials mean lateral to the axis of the embryo. Paraxials mesoderm. So this is the, हमने गलत बोल दिया क्या? Yes. I'm sorry. This is not lateral. Rather, this is paraxial. Sorry. दिमाग इधर से कर हो गया. Paraxial mesoderm. Sorry. Paraxial mesoderm. Lateral is intermediate. This is okay. Then the lateral. So these are three zones, the paraxial mesoderm. Now, all these three mesoderm will give rise to three different things. Such as, if you think about the paraxial mesoderm, this paraxial mesoderm will give rise to the vertebrae, and vertebrae will form the vertebral column. First, there is a formation or development of the vertebrae, and the vertebrae articulate with each other.